Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa and I'm a flight attendant with a major US airline. And I just finished up, I just finished up having 2 days off in which I had caught this cold, head cold, chest cold. Now I'm feeling better. Those couple of days really made a difference in me getting better quickly. And this evening I start a 3-day trip. And this is a little bit odd. My sign-in time is almost 11 o'clock at night. It's at 21:55, so 10:55 p.m. is my sign-in time. And it is so easy tonight. Fingers crossed, I don't want to jinx myself, but tonight I am flying on the Airbus 319, which is the baby bus, which is the plane I've been flying on all month. I'm flight attendant number 1, so I'm the lead flight attendant, but that's okay because this is going to be an easy peasy simple trip. That means as flight attendant number 1, I'll be in charge of first class, and that is an easy first class because I only have 8 seats in first class. So if they're full, at the most I'll have 8 passengers. And tonight's schedule, I'm just flying from Miami to Jacksonville. How easy is that? That's a short flight. Then I have a 28-hour layover in Jacksonville. Then on the 3rd day, I do have 3 legs. I don't remember off the top of my head where they are, but if you come with me and follow along on these adventures, then you'll find out. Let's see, right now it is 11:35 a.m. I've already showered, I've already blow dried my hair, put on some makeup. I need to run to the store. I have to buy saline for my contact solution for my contacts. I'm out of my little travel bottle, and then I'll probably fix some lunch, and then I need to get my uniform ready, iron, and pack my bag. So that's what I have going on today. Thank you for tuning in. Come with me on today's adventure. Okay, so both of my bags are packed. I am just about ready to go. I just have to grab my cardigan and load things up in my car. I did look at my schedule, so today is just 1 leg, and the flight doesn't leave until 5 minutes before 11 p.m., so I don't have to be at my gate until before that. And I'm going to catch my commuter flight that leaves at 6 p.m. or just before 6 p.m. because I have to give myself 2 opportunities to get me into Miami at least 1 hour before my report time. So that will pretty much do it. And what else was I going to say? Oh, my third day I have 3 legs. So day 1 is just Miami to Jacksonville, 28-hour layover, so that kind of eats into day 2. Then day 3, I fly Jacksonville to Miami, Miami to Austin, then Austin back to Miami, and then I'm done around 3 o'clock. It's time to go. I'm gonna drive to the airport now. I'm the last person on the jet bridge because I literally took the last seat on this airplane. I have finished my safety checks. Now I'm just going to go ahead and set up my front little galley to take care of my first class passengers when it's time. It's 1:08 a.m. and I am now checked into my hotel room. I had this big elaborate scheme how I was gonna say, oh, I'm in my hotel. I was gonna kind of, I forget, maybe do one of the little greetings that I say on the airplane when I'm number one. But you know what? It's so late. It has slipped my mind whatever I was going to say. So this is what you get. It's 1:08 a.m. and I'm in my room. I have 28 hours here in Jacksonville. My pickup is at 4:30 a.m. In 28 hours from now. And then I work 3 legs, but it shouldn't be too bad. I did have a tinge of anxiety today. Not too bad, not like when I had to go to London and be flight attendant number 2. Just had a little tinge of anxiety. And that's because I haven't been number 1 in months, 6 months, 8 months, maybe even a year. I've been so spoiled in like picking what positions, and number 1 is the lead flight attendant, and you're responsible for everything. You're who the other flight attendants report to. If something goes wrong in the airplane, you're who the flight attendants report to. You're the one dealing with all of it. You're like anyone can, not anyone, but any flight attendant can working flight attendant can contact the flight deck, but you're like the liaison. Say something, I don't know, you just deal with everyone. You deal with the gate agent, you deal with managers if managers are there trying to push the plane out on time. Like this early morning flight when we have to go back, it's going to be stressful because it's probably the first flight of the morning. So they're going to want to push it out on time, because if we don't get out on time, then it's like a domino effect. It means we're going to make the next flight late, and then the next flight late, and then the next flight late, so a lot of pressure to get out on time, to board on time, to get board in a timely manner, to push back on time, to take off on time, to arrive on time, all of that. It's all about time. So let me get some lights turned on, and then we'll do a room tour, and then I'll do my little debrief. This is probably gonna be a shorter video because this is a short work day, and we'll get to it. Let me turn on some lights, and then we'll do a little walk around. I'll show you my room. Hi, it's just me preparing still. Okay, it's ready. So let me give you the grand tour. So we have the front door here. The bathroom right to the right. Nothing fancy about the shower. I don't really care the way these hair products smell either. So a big full-length mirror, a chair, 2 beds. These pillows look a little sad. These pillows compared to those pillows, these pillows look sad, don't they? They look like they're just not having a very good night. TV, a desk, kind of a plain room. Nothing too fancy. It's warm in here, thank goodness. I was worried that it may not be warm because the hallways were pretty drafty, and it is cold outside. And then let's see what our view is. If you look down there, there's like a bridge, a lit bridge, and this is at the riverfront. So there's a river nearby, I believe. There we go, that's better. That's the view from the room. Okay, let me take my handy dandy little notebook here with notes, and we will go over my little debrief. You know what, let me mute this TV. They just had it set to like welcome us, but I'm going to hit mute so that way it doesn't pick up background noise. I'll be right back. The TV commercial scene, nourished and renewed. That's how I will be tomorrow. Let's see. I wrote how many days off. Our schedules are a little bit funny, but I usually get at least 12 days off a month, sometimes more, sometimes less. Sometimes I can make it more if I can drop trips. But my schedule is usually built with about 12 days off every month. So it's not bad. It's more days off than I had with my traditional Monday through Friday job. And then I wrote down we can't work more than 7 days You can't work 7 days in a row. So you can work like 6 days and you have to have a day off. So you have to have, that's in our contract. And then I wrote commuting. So when I commute to work, it's just like if someone were to carpool to work or someone were to catch the train or the subway to work, I just get on an airplane. I don't pay for my ticket. I use my flight benefits. Orlando is listed as my commuter city. But basically what I have to do is I have to book myself on one of our company flights, and I get on a flight where there's space available. So I'm on standby. We also have partnerships with other airlines, so I can look at other airlines and go through whatever their process is to get on theirs. Like Delta, sometimes I'll fly Delta to come home or go to Miami. So I can use other airlines and it doesn't cost me anything. Not when I'm commuting. We also get travel benefits, so I can travel for free. I can see the world. If I take one of our flights and I go internationally, then I'm paying taxes on the international trip, but I don't really pay a fare other than taxes. So that's not bad. Explain standby, I wrote. So standby, there's a whole list of different people that are waiting for standby seats, and basically it's just space available. So if the flight doesn't sell all the seats, then there may be seats available. Sometimes passengers don't make it on time, sometimes passengers catch other flights, and it allows some seats to be opened up. Then they'll just go through the priority list of who's first on the standby list, who's second, etc. Oh, and then I can, since I'm a flight attendant, I could also sit in the jump seat. So if all the seats are taken and there's jump seats available, then whatever flight attendant's on that list, if it's your next name, if you're up next on there and they have a jump seat available, then you can sit in the jump seat and ride to work. What did I do while I was waiting? So my flight left around 6 o'clock from Orlando. I got in there at 7. I didn't have to be at my gate until 9:55. Well, I like to be at my gate an hour before we leave. At 9:55, we left at 10:55. What I did was I watched another episode of 6 Feet Under. I'm still on season 3. And then what I was doing is, because I haven't been number 1 in so long, I was going through my notes. I have a cheat sheet. So I was just kind of going over, because there's so many steps in the process. I was going over my cheat sheet to just refresh my memory, and I was going over the PAs, because usually on the 319, the number 1 has to read the whole safety demonstration, and the other 2 flight attendants will perform it. But luckily, this 319 had the monitors behind each seat back, so all I had to do was push play, and it did all the work for me. But in the event that those video monitors were not working, then I would have had to read it, and the other 2 flight attendants would have had to have performed it, with the seatbelt, with the mask, all of that. So once I scanned my badge, the gate agent told me, gave me the lowdown on what the flight was, how many wheelchairs, etc., all the important information that I needed to know. Then I have a briefing with the crew, and I share that information with them, the specials we have, etc. And the captain sometimes will do a briefing with all of us, or sometimes if he's pressed for time, he'll do it with the number 1, and then I just share that information with them. And I did that with our flight time. Our flight time, he told me it's going to be 55 minutes. It should be after 10,000 feet smooth, so I did pass that along to them because he only gave that information to me. So once I got on the plane, I did my safety checks. I set up my galley. Well, after the safety checks, it's late at night, so forgive me. After the safety checks, I went through my galley, and then I gave the pilots their market bag, which is like a plastic trash bag. And then I gave them each a bottle of water. And that's like the first thing that I do. I introduce myself. Then I set up my galley. I broke the ice. I got familiar with the surroundings, where the cabinets are, where catering puts certain things, where my equipment is. And then I made a seat map for drinks, and I forgot that. So I have 8 first class passengers, so I made my little map, and then when I took pre-departure beverages, I wrote down what they were drinking. I had someone drinking sparkling wine, someone drinking an IPA, someone drinking red wine, someone drinking Woodford on the Rocks, someone drinking a Sprite. Yeah, those were all my drinks. Out of 8 people, those are the people that ordered a drink. And I wrote down where they were sitting so I could refresh their drinks or offer them another one once we were up in the air. So I did that. But when we do pre-departure beverages, we give them in plastic cups because we're going to have to collect those in just a little bit of time. Can't have any glass out prior to taking off. Then I make sure that the 3 B's are done. Once we're done with boarding, the gate agent will come and tell me, okay, boarding is complete. Then they have their final numbers. The gate agent will give the final number of passengers to the captain, and then I make sure my 3 B's are done. That's bins, that's bags, and that's briefings. I make sure that all overhead bins are closed, there's no bags in the aisles, that all the bags are properly stowed away, and that the exit row briefing has been done by the flight attendant who is responsible for it. So usually I'm always keeping an eye when it gets to that point to make sure the flight attendant does their briefing, so I can kind of see, and usually the flight attendant will turn around and give me like a thumbs up like it's done, or they'll call me and say, hey, the exits are briefed, or they'll come to the front and let me know that the exits are briefed. Once those 3 things are done, then I can ask the captain if it's okay to close, and then I give the signal to the gate agent. The gate agent will close the door, and then we'll be on our way. I mentioned I didn't have to read the PAs because we had seat back monitors. Our flight time was 55 minutes. Yeah, and so like I was saying, I was a little bit nervous to be number 1 because I haven't been number 1 in a long time. So I had a little bit of anxiety. Like I get this like pit, like a ball in the pit of my stomach. Is that the way you say it? Like it just like, I don't know. And I like struggled with anxiety like a year ago, and I finally got that under control. But I felt that tinge of anxiety like creeping in on me. And I was like, hey, Mr. Anxiety, why are you coming back? Like you were already number 2 on an IPD, and that was like the worst thing you could possibly imagine. You've been number 1 before. Like you were number 1 your first week of flying. Like this isn't a big deal. So it was like kind of like a mind game. So I was trying to like put Mr. Anxiety back in his hole. So I was successful. I got it done. I'm just happy to be here now and done with today's work day. Yeah, so I mentioned I used a cheat sheet to make sure I got everything done. And then I was happy when I heard the prepare for landing. Made the prepare for landing PA. That PA I did have to make. And then I just wrote down all of my trips start in Miami. Yeah, I'm a Miami-based flight attendant, so all of my trips do start in Miami. So even though I live somewhere else, I used to commute from Arizona. So even when I lived in Arizona, when I had a trip coming up, it meant I had to fly from Arizona to Miami in order to start my trip. And all my trips end in Miami, unless they fall apart. But I don't want to go in the weeds with that. And I will say it was cold in Miami. It was like in the 40s when I left. It was so cold that it was even cold in the jet bridge. It did not feel like Miami weather. And now I'm still in Florida. I'm in Jacksonville, so a little bit further up the state. And it's still cold. It's 1:24 a.m. now. I'm looking forward to slipping into some pajamas. I've not eaten dinner, so I brought my peanut butter and jelly with me. So I'm going to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm just going to unwind, watch a little TV, have some water, have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then get some sleep when I get tired. I don't quite feel tired right now because I just got done working. So I'm going to have a little bit of unwind time because I don't have to wake up super early. Not yet. I have to be downstairs at 4:30 a.m. in like 2 days from now, or like a day and a half. It's kind of tricky. So it's a 28-hour layover. But tomorrow morning, I don't have to be up early. It's the following morning. I have to be downstairs up and ready at 4:30 a.m. So that's where I'm going to leave you. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed and you're interested in seeing what the life of a flight attendant is like, then please hit that subscribe button right there. All right, guys, until next time, bye. Thanks for coming on this adventure. Good night.